I have here a raw file. I did do a little bit of processing on it, but not a whole lot, so I just decided to go down here and go to where we were, and I will show you my workflow with these photos. I've been using the small volume 2.1, which is up here. So I've been using these for like most of the photos. So I would click on this and then I would just do some tweaking. The first thing I do is I scroll all the way down and I pull the grain back to 0, and then I turn off notifications, and then I enable profile corrections, and then the sharpening here I always mask it until about there. So that's the first thing I do, and then obviously this needs to be brightened up, so I just did that. And I don't know, depending on how I'm feeling, what I do too a lot of the time is I'll go down to the calibration here and I'll just look at certain things like the color of her lips, his tie, his jacket, and I just sort of mess around. I'm not really even looking at skin tones necessarily right now. I'm just sort of playing. I don't like how it's like super jacked up down here, because then I think it kind of messes with stuff along the way. So messing with the blue. See, like I want his jacket to be blue, and that's blue right there. And then I usually up the saturation just because I like what it's doing to the colors. So there is that. What I've been doing as well is I have, and you can see like the blue cast on her dress and stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I am going to do is I'm just going to sort of soften up her face a little bit. So I have these brushes, and I don't know where I got this one in particular, but I'll show you what it does, and then you can use it. It's called Smooth Skin, and it's like amazing. So I do that. You can see highlights are bumped up, texture and clarity are down, the dehaze is down just slightly, sharpness and noise, that's all. It's all about softening and brightening a little bit. The feather doesn't have to be that low. I don't know. I'm kind of sloppy with this just because like I really don't have to be all that precise. And I just sort of paint it on her skin. I'm kind of careful not to and I'll just like get her neck a little bit, just oopsie, it's a little much. So I'm hitting Alt, no, I'm hitting, come on now, where are you? Oh, this is the, okay, yeah, the eraser tool. So I'm hitting Alt. I don't have a Mac keyboard, I have like a gaming keyboard. So yeah, and I'm just softening up her skin with this magical brush. I'm trying not to necessarily hit the areas that are super dark, like I don't want to necessarily hit that line right there, yeah, and then like I see like soften around here, it'll brighten it up around there, that'll be okay. And right here between the eyes, it'll just brighten it up. And this brush is so awesome, I don't even usually pull back on it. Like you can. So you go over here to your panel here, and there's this little triangle. You hit it. Oh, and you want to zoom out for this. You want kind of a fuller picture of what's going on. And so you have this triangle, and this literally adjusts the intensity of what you just did. So you can lower the intensity, and you can see how the shadows are coming back up, and you can even increase it. So it was at 44. That's just sort of like where the settings this equals, these settings equal a total of 44, whatever this number means. So anyway, I rarely bring it down. I like that brush so much. I think it does such a good job. So and I'm going to do her arms too, because that just kind of smooths that out too. But you see how it smoothed it out too much? We're going to correct that. Yeah, Georgia, I'm not worried about that right now, okay? So let's do a new brush. I double click on effects and it resets everything. Her arm, like I feel like her face looks a little too bright. That arm is a little too bright. I don't know. I'm just playing around right now. So I have my exposure. The flow's down quite a bit. The feather, just whatever. And I'm just gonna quick paint that on. So, and then maybe put a little bit of texture back, because it's okay if it looks like she has actual skin. Oh, and you know what? I do like doing his face too with that soft brush, smooth skin brush. Just not as much.
His face is very pale.
He's just a very white dude. So I'm going, oh, no, I want to bump up the flow. Not necessarily 100%, but more than what it was. And just quickly paint over parts of his skin. Not going too crazy, just sort of smoothing out some of those. Yeah. So I hit O and you can see the mask, just so you can see like where I'm doing it. I'm not being super like careful, just sort of quickly doing that. Let's see here. His face is so pale. I'm gonna actually turn down the exposure. No, I'm not gonna do that just yet. I'm gonna do that later. So I'm just gonna leave what I just did with his face with the same smooth skin brush. I'm just gonna leave it as that. And then I don't know, pull back, see what's going on. Oh, I could also. I like doing this in Lightroom. I haven't quite done this in Exposure too much, just because I'm so familiar with it now. I'll have a new brush, and I have a foundation sharpening brush, and I always make it. It's something I created, but I always bump up the texture a little more. It's texture and sharpness, and you gotta kind of figure out where this is, like where you want this done. So I'm kind of following, you know, where there's places of contrast, like right here. I did her nostril, you know, right here. I'll even make, like, it'll make highlights pop sometimes too. It's just sort of weird because I'll do it like on the darks of her eyebrows there. But places where I kind of want the highlight to pop, I'll make sure to put it on there too, like on her lip, right there. So this is just some extra sharpening. I don't even have to touch her teeth. It looks like I touched her teeth at one point, but I don't think so. A pin would show up. Like, her teeth are just so white. So let's see here. Let's just hit these lashes right here a little bit. New brush. Her eyes are, there's like a blue. I don't like that. So we're just gonna take a yellow. We're gonna make a brush that's yellow to neutralize that. Maybe pull back a little bit. I try to make it white. You want to brighten it, but not too much. Pull down the saturation. That should help a little bit. There. I think that's good. Another new brush. Her eyes are very dark. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to hide my pins with H. So H makes the pins pop out. H makes the pins disappear. So if you're not sure, if you've done something to an image before, just hit H when you're in the adjustment panels and the pins should show up. So I have a brush here. Exposure is turned up. Shadows are up. And I'm just going to hit her iris. and see what happens. And as you can see, that happened. It's a little much. So I'm going to pull back just to get a bigger picture. And again, I'll just hit my triangle here, and then I will decrease the amount of what I just did. Just a little bit. There we go. That's good. And with his eyes too, right? They're so dark. So let's see if we could brighten his eyes too. I want to use a new brush though, because you want a new brush for kind of every area. Otherwise, you go to adjust it sort of absent-mindedly. Okay, so let's also put a little bit of texture in his eyes and some. You scared me. And some clarity. And we need to pull back a little bit on that. You know, we just need to see some color and some detail. So let's pull back. I still don't like how, I don't know what the color of his eyes actually are. Like, they gotta be like a brown, right? Okay, there we go. That looks nice. Okay, so I did some adjusting there, and I don't know if I'm going to adjust her dress now or maybe after we get it out of exposure. Otherwise, right now, this is decent. When it comes to skin tone, I just use my eyeballs, and her dress is reflecting all that blue off of his suit, but we can actually correct that. You know, you can see there's a lot of blue right here. There's even blue right here. I get my dropper here, and you can see there's some blue in this photo. Oh, we have it as shot, so we're just gonna warm this up a little bit. It's not gonna completely correct it, but it reminded me, hey, you can adjust that. And this weird little spot right here. I think Lightroom spot correcting tools and clone tools and heal tools are really good, and they're like, I prefer them to Photoshop sometimes, depending on what I need to do. Okay, kind of want to make her lips pop, but not yet. Maybe. What else am I noticing? Right here is a little red. Let's just correct that quick. Let's see here. What would be the best way to correct this? If I'm not sure, so here, I'm going to hit O, and that'll show us the mask. So so that's where the mask is going to be. Let's hit O again to hide that. And let's, I don't know, pull in some green, maybe a little bit of blue. I just want to dehaze. Dehaze, I feel like breaks it up. Like it can break up an area a little bit, brighten it up, but also break it up. It's kind of magic that way. So I think, let's see here. I'm toggling on and off like all the things we did. So yeah, so you can see like what I done. So this is off. All the brushwork is off now, and everything I did to it. Like, look at that. I paid too much money for software to clean up faces, and honestly, I think I just need that brush. I could do some burning on her face and maybe clean this up too. Should we do that? Maybe we should do that. Georgia thinks we should. Okay, so that's just under here, you know?
Oh, yep, it's done.
Not
you
just,
should lighten it.
Just lighten it, right? We don't want to completely get rid of it. Humans have that, but we can lighten it a little bit. So,
get rid of what?
Just your face, is that what you said? Okay, so for under eye stuff, I have a brush with a higher exposure and maybe dehaze it slightly. We just want to brighten it up. That's it. See, like this, Georgia. Here. See? See, I did that, and then, See, that's where it was, and then I just did a quick. I did it like completely like it did.
Cool.
No, come here, Georgia. So this is what it was before. See, just a little. That's it. Is that too much? I don't know. I'm gonna back up. Maybe that was too much on his skin, because I think under her eye it worked really well, but on his it was a little much. So I'm gonna back up here on my history panel to that. New brush, same things going on, but I just want to be able to adjust what I did with his eyes. So let's just adjust what I just did.
Yeah, jeez.
See, I don't like the colors it's turning. So sometimes when I do this, I actually will, I'll fuck with the colors, because you can get it. You can get it to look like the surrounding skin with this. Because it's not just about brightening and darkening. When you do that, you also have to adjust the tone. I think that's better. I'm talking to Dad. I'm screen recording right now. Okay. I think it's good, right? That looks good. Let's close that up, and let's open this up in exposure.
Can't you do a go-to meeting or something?
Huh?
So can't you do a go-to meeting or something?
Well, no, I'm just showing him my process. This is what basically tutorials are. Just watching somebody edit. What was he doing? Oh, edit and exposure. Okay. Oh, see, you can see how blue her veil is, but I think I'll, and like I did cut off her hand, you know.
Jordan already disappeared.
Is that the, maybe.
He made his appearance for 2 seconds.
Oh, it's 4:30 already. I gotta work at 6 tonight. Isn't that stupid? Okay. So here is exposure. You can zoom in and out with your Apple mouse just by you know, doing the scroll movement. So that's really nice. You have a ton of presets. There's like a ton of them. I found the simulation Fuji camera. I love the tones. So I'll just sort of, so this is just like Lightroom. You just hover over it and it'll change. This is all non-destructive. It's great. And I kind of just see what it does to the overall image. I like stuff that's like, I like that. I like that it's bright. I think I've been using this one. See, we have recently used this right here. Yeah, and it has like all the things I've done to other photos. The rendering is syncing. Come on. Oh, it's being slow again.
We might have some. They have to have lids. I might have some down here.
Oh, that's right. And this does the opposite. It doesn't make it bright. It actually takes some away. But I like the vignetting that it does. That's why I use that one. Okay. All right. Let's just go to, I don't know. I kind of like that one, but it'll need to be tweaked. I like how that's brighter. You know, I like how it's brighter, but then I'll totally end up darkening it up. I don't know. I don't know if I need to do anything with this one. Okay, what I will do, because I think, I don't know, I think it looks okay. You know, I kind of just want certain things to pop. Oh, you know what? Okay. Where is it? There is. Is it a LUT? So LUT, I don't know what this means. You might even know what this means. But the saturate protects skin. This is neat. like all of these have like presets built into all of them. You can add to your heart's desire when it comes to that. So I just hit enhance color, and all these toggles have switched. You can switch them on and off to see what you did. They're almost like, I don't need that one either. So let's just hit none. Let's see here, what else? Overlays. Oh, this is the thing that was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. So I pulled on overlays here. You click on light effects. You click on it. And then that, just pulled on, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. Look at all of them. Look at all of them.
Oh, wow.
And some of these are fully manipulative, like you can fully manipulate them. Like this one, just as an example. Move freely. Not all of them can move freely, but this one can. You can change the direction of what's going on with it. You can change the opacity. You can change the size of it. Like if you want it really big, or if you just want it, you know, small, like a little light leak somewhere coming from, I don't know. This is unleashed territory, like honestly. But what I do is I just play with all of these, and it's fun to just slap shit on top of it and see what looks good. Like, I mean, you could really just make some fun things happen with this. And this, you could blow it up so it covers your entire image. You know, and like it's neat what you can do with this. You know, you could just pull down the opacity a lot, so you just end up having this effect. Not that I would choose to do this, but I don't know, maybe it looks neat. So let's say I want to do this. Like I'm not talented enough for this software. So I hit the overlay, and then so I have this, right, which looks neat. I like it. It's a little creative, but I like it. So then this is the layer. There's even a mask. You can hit the mask, and you can brush on. I haven't even played with this yet. The eraser is what I've used over here, and you can invert the mask. So you would paint on, you know, the effect. Re-invert it. On here, there's the this is highlighted, the brush right here. I usually have it on eraser, feather flow, just like in Lightroom. You could, oh, but it changes sizes the opposite of Lightroom. So that's that's kind of funny. So if you want to, you know, if you want to brush some of this off of your subject, you know, you can do that, and you can see it up here. You can see the mask up here. You know, I just want to, just whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, artists know how to do this, not necessarily me. So yeah, and then so what I've been doing with this, since I have the layers and it's so easy to do, every adjustment I make a new layer, and I've been trying to label the layers because they do get lost sometimes. So I could just write, you know, like over, like all over light leak, and then add a layer, and it just adds a layer. And then so for this I could do, what do you want, Georgia? You're hungry? Yeah, I know. So in this one, what I've been doing is I've just been pulling back on it to darken it, just to give it that pop. But then if I wasn't so lazy, I would brush it off certain things and everything, but then I just lower the opacity of it. So I click on this little So you have your layers up here. Each one has its own opacity. What's different from this than Photoshop, for these layers you can use like screen mode and multiply mode and stuff. I don't know if these do that, but like I said, this works like how I think Lightroom should work. You should have these layers available in Lightroom. Okay, opacity, because I just wanted to make things pop. So these toggle switches are super nice. You can toggle on and off what you just did. Let's go back to the tone curve. Okay. Oh, and these, like, let's say you make a point and you want it to disappear. I tried double clicking and everything and right clicking, and it doesn't. You have to actually you have to make sure it's like you're on top of it, and then you hit delete, and it'll delete it. Yeah, I can, Georgia May. So let's add a layer because I want to do another tone curve, but I want to hit the highlights a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see what this does. Just brightens it just a little bit. I don't know. I should be labeling these, but I'm not. I'm just sort of showing you I'm playing around. This color panel I haven't super looked into because I feel I understand it in Lightroom a little better. But there are color filters in here which are nice. Which actually you can make color filters yourself using gradient maps and stuff in Lightroom. But this is kind of nice. Detailed adjustments. I'm right here. I don't know. Oh, so there's like presets here where it will do certain things to your photo. You know, blah blah blah. Advanced color editor. This is like you pick a color, and oh, look at that. You can like see, that's crazy. You can see like the pixels. You pick a color and you can change everything about this color range. So like convert from to, you could play around with this, I guess. And I wish you could just like, oh, maybe you can. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, so you can like pick a color range and then like just totally mess with it. And again, this is like Lightroom too. It just looks, this looks fancier. You can change. Oh wow, like there's just so much here. Anyway, that's like for me to figure out at some other time. Let's delete this layer. And Georgia is hungry, right, Georgia? So we need to go get food. Oh, I need to order it first. I'll give you my phone. We order from Pizza Little Caesars. So just hang on, Georgia. So what else? Oh yeah, I wanted to nothing. Her dress is like, okay, so let's try something else. Let's add this. Let's add a new layer. And let's grab a brush. And then do what with it? I don't know. Color. See, this is just so. What do I want? I want yellow. That's not what I don't even know. Adjustments. It's under basic. Oh, maybe just this. I want more yellow in it. Yeah, I don't like the whole adjustment brush thing. It's confusing to me. I'm gonna learn that some other time. But there's that. Oh, and here's the before and after button. You know, I don't even know if this is an improvement. But I just wanted to show you that. But yeah, when it comes to skin tones, I don't like it. Just you just gotta learn. That's practice. Anyway, so that's that video. I'll give you more.